announcer and commentator for this session is Mr. Grant Chivers.
Welcome everybody then to the second session of the County Championships this year. We'll be starting in a few minutes' time. Scheduled start at 2:10, which we're good for. Just before then, can I just welcome a few people onto poolside. Many thanks to all the management board and the management team who have organised this session and all the sessions. Thanks to all the volunteers and the coaches. Many thanks to all the officials, and also Jane O'Brien, who is here on poolside as it's not Hearts anymore, is it? Swim England, Hertfordshire president. So if you perhaps just show your appreciation to all those here who are making the event a success. So welcome everybody in the venue here. Quite busy, quite hot, quite loud, and welcome to all those who are watching online, either live now or watching it back later. So we've got a number of cameras here. The one showing at the moment is from the start end down towards the turn end. The start end now being the deep end of Boreham Wood, changed over a few years ago. So the camera is pointing down towards the turn end, and then the swimmers will come back towards the shot. As you'll see later on, we've got various cameras. All the cameras, I think this is true, are on swimmers' right as they swim. So closest to the cameras is lane 1, furthest away is lane 8. So just to give you some idea of the orientation of the pool. So they'll swim from left to right, tumble, right to left. They'll finish on the left. There are a few cameras, as you can see, that point slightly differently, but those are the main ones. So we're just fixing the pads that were slightly harmed during the warm-up. Looks like we're pretty much there. So we'll be ready to go in a couple of minutes. I'm sure you are all there, but the first event is the female 100-metre butterfly. We have 10 heats, so that's going to be about 15 minutes to get through that. So if you're not already over in the marshalling area, then perhaps you can make your way there. Certainly if you're in the first 4 or 5 heats now, and pretty soon if you're in the remaining 5 heats. After the 100 IM female, we have the 200 open male 100 IM. That is event 202. Then we go on to event 203, the female 200-metre backstroke. Then the open male 100-metre backstroke is event 204. And that's just the 4 events of this session. And I think we have some finals. I think we have finals for all those events, actually. So the finals will follow the heats once the finalists have been determined. Event 201, the female 100-metre Event 201, the female 100-meter butterfly. This is heat 1. Just step down, swimmers, please. Referee. So our first heat underway. Lane 2, we have Yamada Orr from Costa, Sakato from Costa in 3, King of Potter's Bar in lane 4, Keeling in 5, Michael in 6, and Mellors in lane 7. So 4 lengths of butterfly. Savannah Smith of lane 4 in the lead at the moment, swimming for Potter's Bar. She comes up to turn. Turns on a 41.93. Quite close for the next few positions. It's lane 3 in second place at the moment. Sophia Sakato of Costa. And pretty close for the next few positions. Smith then turns first at the 75-meter mark in lane 4, a few meters ahead of the rest of the field, swimming as in the S4 category, and leading our first heat. Good race for second place. It's still Sakato, also swimming for Costa in lane 3. Smith has a few more strokes to go, and she finishes 1:35.36. Second place, Sakato, and Cara Michael, third place. Heat 2, referee. Heat 2 underway then. Tom in lane 1. Dochin in 2, Hickard in 3, Crompton in 4, Clark in 5, Douglas in 6, Smith in 7, and Fafana in lane 8. Pretty close after the first 25 metres. Lane 6 has the advantage though, pulling away from the rest of the field. Charlotte Douglas of Costa entered in a 1:28, is pretty close for the next position. Slight advantage to lane 3 for second at the moment. Phoebe Hickford as they come up to the turn at the 50-metre mark. And it's Douglas in the lead, out from the underwater phase. Douglas in the lead. Second place, pretty tight. Slight advantage to lane 5, just next to her. Annabelle Clark, then Crompton and Hickford. Douglas turns, still in the lead. Just a few metres ahead of the rest of the field, but that is enough. Bit more solid second place at the moment to Annabelle Clark of Harpenden with the black hat in lane 5, beginning to catch up. Douglas holding on. Clark just overhauling her. It's going to be pretty tight on the finish here. And it goes in the end to Douglas just on a 1:24.07. Clark second, 1:24.17. And Hickford third, 1:27.50. A disqualification. Event 201, Heat 1, Lane 4. Disqualified for a technical infraction. Heat 3, referee. Clear the pool, please, swimmers. Clear the pool. Heat 3 underway. Butterworth in 1, Waller in 2, Sang in 3, Robertson in 5, Doddymead in 6, Cracknell in 7, and Randall in lane 8. Lane 5 with the early advantage. That is Thea Robertson swimming for Costa. And she's got quite a lead over the rest of the field. The closest to her is Butterworth of Tring in lane 1 with a black hat, just below camera shot for those of you watching online, as lane 5, which is Robertson, turns first, 34.01. Second, 2.5 seconds ahead of the rest of the field. The closest to her still Butterworth of Tring. They go back down towards the turn end, underneath the flags into the red bits of the lane ropes. Robertson still has a huge advantage. That 2.5 second lead looks like it's gone up to maybe 3.5 as she comes back down towards the start end. The rest of the swimmers have now completed their turn. Lane 2 beginning to move forward. Darcy Waller of Stevenage moving up into a good second place. But it is Robertson. Robertson in the lead, couple of strokes left to go. She takes the win. Her time, 1:18.94. It's Darcy Waller in second place, 1:21.45, and Butterworth in third for Tring, 1:24.05. A disqualification, event 201, heat 2, lanes 2 and 8, disqualified for a technical infraction. Heat 4, referee. All the swimmers underwater come to the surface. Pretty close, slight advantage to the lane 2 swimmer from Cheshunt, but the other swimmers are as follows. Neve Ives in 1, Phoebe Waite in 2, Neve Holland in 3, Lucy Alexander 4, Bronwyn Fuller 5, Lewis Field 6, Abigail John in 7, and Maya Robu in lane 8. And as they come back towards the flags at the start end, moving up towards the 50-metre mark, it's still the Cheshunt swimmer, Phoebe White, just with a slight advantage, but it's pretty tight as they push off the pads. The one to touch the pads first was, oh, I looked at the wrong scoreboard, was 36.86. It was Waite of Cheshunt. They go back down towards the turn end. Pretty tight here. Little to choose between them, moving up into the lead. The black-hatted swimmer of Harpenden, Lucy Alexander in lane 4. She touches the pads, marginally ahead of Fuller in 5. Back towards the start, just over half a length to go. Alexander has the advantage at the moment. Bronwyn Fuller in second place. Third place in lane 6, Lewis Fields. Underneath the flags, a fast-finishing Hatfield swimmer, Maya Robu, over in lane 1. And I think Robu's going to take the win. She does, 1:20.84. Couple of seconds under her entry time, almost anyway. Alexander in second place, 1:21.39, and Fuller third, 1:22.25. Heat 5, referee. So the swimmer's underway. Those of you watching online have the start order, so I won't major on that too much. As I'm commentating, as we go up towards the first turn, it's very tight. Lane 1 with a slight advantage. Macy Sill of Ware. At lane 4 in the centre of the pool. Valentina Tinarello of Potter's Bar with the dark blue hat in the lead. Looking very nice indeed, that final stroke as she turns at the 50-metre mark on a 33.89. Underwater phase up at about 5.5 metres. She has the lead. It's close for second place. Sapia Sekaya is in second place in lane 2. And then Malfroy in 6th, there or thereabouts for second place. But in the lead still, Tinarello holding her advantage, not moving away from the field too much. Breathing every stroke on the butterfly here. She comes underneath the flags. Lane 3, Charlotte Stewart catching her up. It's going to be tight on the touch. Stewart takes the win. 1:15.64. Tinarello second, 1:15.92. Third place, Holly Malfroy, 1:16.79. So Stewart's time, winning time, 1:15 point, against an entry time of 1:18.4, so 3 seconds or so underneath. Heat 6, referee. Swimmers up underway, half a length gone already, exceedingly close across the field, lane 6, slight advantage at the moment. Liliana Sapala, Hoddesdon with the red hat. She touches the pads at the 25-metre mark, marginally ahead of the rest of the field. Up at about 4-metre mark, but a good underwater transition phase there for Tabitha Bayliss of Costa in lane 4. And also doing well for Hatfield, Sophie Green in lane 2. Pretty close as we come to the turn here. Turning first was lane 1, Candola, and then Dixon. No, let's get the right heat. It was Peterson and Yi Chan. I'm getting this completely right. I do apologise. Lion and Green. Let's read the heat sheet correctly. At the 75-metre mark, and it's still Lion and Green, lanes 1 and 2 in the lead. Out from the underwater phase. Slight advantage to Lion. Green not far behind. Moving up towards the lead now is in the swimmer in the centre of the pool, Tabitha Bayliss. Pacing this nicely, had the lead for the first length and a half. And going to finish in the lead. Just drifts in that final half stroke. Nevertheless, takes the win. 1:15.39, Sophie Lyon. Second, 1:16.10. Third place going to Sapala. Liliana Sapala, 1:16.27. Heat 7, referee. Heat 7 underway. Entry times 1:12 now, out to 1:14. They're all close, these heats. We'd expect that. Sprint events at counties. Not going to have massively different times. And it's lane 5 turning first. It's Amy Whitten for Hatfield. Pink hat coming out. No, that's not quite right. It's lane 3. Walters in second place. And moving up towards the lead, we've got a Chestnut swimmer in the far side of the pool, Polly Munson. It's tight. Munson turns marginally behind Amy Whitten. So the Hatfield in the centre of the pool. Hatfield swimmer in the centre of the pool. Amy Whitten versus Polly Munson in lane 7. Those two, first and second, very tight. Munson has the slight advantage. Coming back down towards the start end, half a length to go. Amy Whitten in the lead, moving away from the rest of the field quite a lot now. She's got clear water between her and the other swimmers. It's close for second, third and fourth. But Amy Whitten takes the win, 1:10.99. Second place goes to Summer Everson, 1:12.54. And third place to Angelica Lazzacate, 1:12.92. Heat 8, referee. Heat 8 underway, 1:06, fastest entry time. Pretty close again. It's a slight advantage to the Hatfield swimmer. Just ahead is Eva Ives, just ahead of Kate Hopper of Berkhamsted in lane 5 as they come back down towards the start. Very little between them. Hopper in the lead, Ives in second place. That's the order they turn in, 31.30 against a 31.52. Third place at the halfway point, Nell Costa for Berkhamsted. Moving back down towards the turn end, just coming up towards the flags. It's Hopper in the lead. Hopper has half a body length advantage now over Ives. Tight for third place as the lead two swimmers swimming pretty close to each other. Moving up into third place, we have Laura Burgess of Bishop Sturtford. Hopper has the advantage. Coming back on her is Ives. It's going to be tight at the finish here. It's going to get final stroke. Who gets it correct? Hopper gets it correct. 108.34 just to take the win. 108.44, 10th behind Eva Ives. And third place went to Burgess, 109.74. Heat 9, referee. Heat 9 underway, last but one heat, the penultimate heat then. And a good underwater transition phase there for Charlotte Williams of Hatfield. Williams still in the lead for Hatfield. These last three heats are cyclically seeded. Yes, they are. So Williams, the second fastest swimmer in the event, and showing that as she moves away from the rest of the field, turning best part of her body's length advantage. Williams entered on a 105.60. It's a lot closer for second place between the two swimmers to her left and the right, or the swimmer to her left and the right. Borum in lane 5 and Jeffrey in lane 3. As a clear win there for Charlotte Williams, 105.26. We'll take a note of that time, see how it compares with the final heat. Katie Jeffrey second, 108.87. And Amy Borum third, 108.63. Just before we start the next heat, just to remind swimmers, there are bannerets for 800-metre swimmers from last Saturday over at the medal table. Heat 10, referee. Our last heat underway then for this first event. Early advantage to lane 4, which is Emma Fields, the fastest entrant, 105.19. Slightly faster entry time than the winner of the previous heat. Nice underwater transition phase for Emma there, coming up at about 7-8 metre mark. As she moves away from the rest of the field, it's close for second place. The closest swimmer to her is Jasmine Scott of Costa in, no, that's the wrong swimmer. It's Beaverstock of Hatfield in lane 6. Another nice underwater phase there for Fields as she moves away from the rest of the field. Fields into the final turn then, turns. Next swimmer turns now, which is lane 5, Neve James. And then in third place is Beaverstock as Emma Fields moves up towards the flags, underneath the flags. 2 or 3 strokes to go. Finishes 105.42. Second place went to Neve James, 108.89, and third place Honor Beverstock, 109.90. But by my reckoning, it was Charlotte Williams from the previous heat on a 105.26, who had the fastest time throughout the event. We will see when the official results are published. We move on then to our second event, the Open Male 100 metre individual medley, which is event 202. Event 202, Heat 1, referee. Five swimmers in this opening heat. Entry times around the 1.5 minute mark. And one length of each stroke, of course. Fly, backstroke, breaststroke, and front crawl in that order. And they're into the second leg, which is the backstroke. And it's lane 3. Louis Shambrook of Hoddesdon, who has the advantage, has the red hat, has moved away from the rest of the field. Body length and a bit between him and the closest swimmer. As Shambrook turns, flips into a breaststroke, and the speed slows down a little bit. Shambrook in the lead. Takia of Watford in lane 2 in second place, looking to have a nice breaststroke on him and beginning to move up towards the leader. Angle slightly deceptive as you look on the live feed, but he is getting a little bit closer, I think. Shambrook turns first. Takia second, and that difference between the two swimmers starts to open up again. Shambrook, last couple of strokes to go. Feels a lot quicker than his entry time, where it's a little bit quicker, 1:28.42, so 5 seconds quicker. Via Tahir second, 1:31.56. Julien Vanier third in a 1:32.61. A disqualification, event 202, heat 1, lane 5, disqualified for a technical infraction. Heat 2, referee. Our second heat underway, 1:30.37, the fastest entrant, Cameron Davis in lane 4. And it's lane 5 with a slight advantage, James Winter. As they move down towards the end of the fly, he turns from fly into backstroke, underwater, 3 or 4 fly kicks, comes up just about the flags, and he's moving away from the rest of the field. Quite a high stroke rate here. Slower stroke rate for second place. Over in lane 8, furthest away from us, Theo Barbet of Stevenage. Though it's changing around a bit as they come into that turn or transition. In the lead is still Davis. Second place, pretty close. At the turn, it was Gilbert. In lane 3, he's still looking not too bad for second place, along with Yua Chen, Potter's Bar in lane 1. Davis, though, lane 5. Sorry, Winter in lane 5, out in the lead. Into the final leg. Front crawl, just over half a length for him. Good battles for the next set of positions. Not much of a battle for first place. James Winter, Stevenage, 1:30.50 is entry time. Finishes on a time of 1:24.33. A long way underneath that. It's tight for the next couple of positions. Gilbert second, 1:29.50. Yua Chen third, 1:29.81, just 0.31 behind. Heat 3, referee. Just dropping under the 90-second mark for the entry times here. And it's pretty close as we move down towards the first turn. In the lead, very hard to tell actually, it's over in lane 7. Slight advantage, but very slight. Aaron Rawnsley for Harpenden. Backstroke, he's holding on to that advantage. But it's the closest heat we've had pretty much all morning. Well, I think we're in the afternoon now, aren't we? Yeah, all afternoon. And it's very close indeed. 4 of them as they come in front of me in a line. Hatfield swimmer, lane 5. Marginal advantage as they turn. And in lane 5 turns first, 39.83. On 8, which is Ching Yao, into breaststroke. Lane 3, beginning to move into the lead now. Kai Young Wai Chung, swimming for Stevenage. Hatfield swimmer though, back into the lead. Ching Yao of Hatfield in lane 5. half a length front crawl for him as he comes up towards the flags. In the lead, very fast finishing swimmer in lane 3, but it is Qing Yao who takes the win, 126.69. Chung in second place, finishing fast. 124.47, third place goes to Fordyce, 126.94. So just a short pause whilst we clear or swap the pad over in lane 4 at the turn end. The old pad has come out, the new pad's going in, just been fastened with the bungee ropes. Officials valiantly working there to put it in place. It's in place, so we're moving on to heat 4, referee. Heat 4, referee. Swimmers underway. Not the fastest start for lane 4, but he's doing very well now. He's swimming faster than everybody else. That's Jake Nell of Tring with the black hat. Turns ahead of the rest of the field into backstroke. Can he hold on to lead on backstroke? Lane 2 looking pretty good. Hugo Randall of Costa beginning to move up towards the lead position on the backstroke. Nell in the lead, Randall in second place. Those two a little bit ahead of lane 6, which is Kaposi. Kaposi had a very nice start. Quick reaction time off the dive. Looked good from my perspective. And he's in third place. But in the lead, doing breaststroke now, Nell of Tring. 125.95 entered on. He moves towards the turn end. Just a few strokes left to go. Touches. Pushes off into front crawl. Not too much of an underwater phase there for Nell, as he's still in the lead. Nobody particularly close to him. The closest to him, well, in second place is Kaposi. Lung in between them, moving up towards second place. Lung finishing fast. But the win goes to Nell. His time 123.19, Lung in second place, 123.89, fast finishing on the front crawl. And Kaposi in third place, 125.28. As always, check the official results as they're posted literally here at the venue and online later on. Heat 5, referee. Fifth heat underway, early lead, lane 2, Tramontano Wells rather, swimming for Hertford with a sort of, I think you'd call it a gold colour hat. Not too good at colours, but looks pretty gold to me. Lane 5, moving up towards the lead. That is a white hat, that I can do. Lane 5 is Lawson, Rafe Lawson of Berkhamsted. Has a good lead here. He's been caught by the Bishop Stortford swimmer, but it is lane 5. Lawson turns first, 36.79. They're into the breaststroke. Often makes a difference in the IM races. And it's our early leader, Tramatonto Wells, who has the advantage. It's pretty close though between him. Back to lane 5 though, takes the lead at the 75 metre mark. That's Lawson. So it's between Lawson and Beard. Beard, not really spoken about him up to now. Verulam swimmer, lane 3, going to take the win. Good second half of the breaststroke and a good front crawl for Beard. 1:21.12. Here's a winning time. Tramatino Wells second, 1:22.02. Lawson 1:22.55. A disqualification for you. Event 202, heat 4, lane 5. Disqualified for a technical infraction. Heat 6, referee. Heat 6 underway, quite a few heats in this event, 16 altogether, so we're just approaching the third of the way through the number of heats. And this one's pretty tight. It's Newland of Royston with a green hat in the lead, or he was. Very slow stroke rate on the backstroke, holding on to the lead, I think. It's pretty close. It's Irvine of Watford with a red hat, but actually it's lane 7, quite a bit ahead of the rest of the field, which is Hodgson of Costa into the breaststroke. Changed around a little bit again. Very close indeed. Watford swimmer Brewster, lane 6 in the lead. Brewster just comes underneath the flags, up towards the end of the front crawl. It's just on the touch there. It's lane 5, just touches marginally ahead. Sebastian Brown of Verulam. And it's Brown of Verulam with the blue hat in lane 5. Has the advantage, just moving away from Brewster. Brown takes the win. His time at the finish there, 1:19.15. Brewster second, 1:19.72. Third place, Hodgson, 1:20.82. Heat 7, referee. Pretty close seventh heat, a very loud, splashy 7th heat as they move down to the end of the fly. Slight advantage to the swimmer in lane 8, which is Thoran. Asalanu at the other end of the pool. Actually, it was not Asalanu, it was Lynch, lane 2. Those two were pretty much hand for hand as they came up to the end of the first 25. At the turn, at the 50-metre mark, it is Lynch in the lead for Potters Bar. Finn Kerry, Stevenage with the light blue hat, has moved up into the lead. Kerry in first place, Lynch in second place. They come underneath the flags. Couple more strokes of the breaststroke to go. Lynch just in the lead. Kerry rather just in the lead. Eddie Sun in lane 5, not far behind him. At the turn, it's those two vying for the lead as they come up towards the start, or the finish even. Sun versus Kerry, and Kerry has a big advantage now. He finishes, takes the win, 1:16.99, his winning time. Second place goes to Sun, 1:18.19, and in between him in third on a 1:18.66, Luigi Giambron. Heat 8, referee. Eighth heat underway. Nice underwater phase and start for Misha Zaranov in lane 4 for Hitchin. And Zaranov comes up. He is in the lead at the turn, fly into backstroke. Zaranov in the lead. Other end of the pool actually moving up into the lead now. That's lane 1, which is Frankie Francis of Harpenden in the black hat with the yellow squiggly bits on it. Zaranov just drifted back to third place. Second place is James Hallam. Hallam having a good underwater phase on the breaststroke. Hallam in the lead. It's all tightening up a little bit on the breaststroke. Coming up in towards the first few positions is the other Hitchin swimmer, which is Theo Smith in lane 3. So it's Smith in 3 and Hallam in 5, vying for the lead. Smith marginally ahead of Hallam, then Zaranov in between them with the yellow-hatted swimmer of Hitchin. So it's a dash to the end here, just half a length sprint front crawl to go. Hallam has the advantage. Zaranov in lane 4, moving up into lead. Fastest entry time. Have a good second half of the one length sprint there, of front crawl that is, and he takes a win. 1:14.19. Hallam second, 1:14.89. Third place Smith, 1:15.43. Heat 9, referee. So dropping into the 1:14 point for the entry times. Konstantin Kalifas in lane 4, the fastest entrant, but it's lane 3. William Ward of Hoddesdon with the black hat. He takes he's in the lead at the first turn, out of the underwater phase at about 4 and a bit meters. He holds on to that lead, but not far behind him is Oliver Green of Costa over in lane 8. Few lanes away from him. It's the Costa swimmer turns first, 32.21, just 100th behind the second place swimmer, William Ward, on the 32.22, so 100th between them. Compressing up in the centre of the pool. Ward in 3, Kalifas in 4. Lane 5, Lesnar, and then Green in 8. All of them pretty much there or thereabouts, but slight advantage at that turn to Kalifas, the fastest entrant in lane 4. He's into the front crawl. He's got half a length to go, moving away from the rest of the field. Kalifas entered a 1:14.22. He's got clear water from the rest of the swimmers. Way underneath that, 1:11.12, his winning time. Ward second, 1:12.56. And third place goes to Oliver Green in lane 8, 1:12.96. Heat 10, referee. Heat 10 underway. Swimmers going down towards the start end. There's a little bit of a split across the pool. Lane 6 has the advantage. Lane 1 not far behind. Lane 6 is Joshua Tyak of Tring. And he still has a slight lead. Callum Wu of Verulam, light blue hat over in lane 8, just moving up into lead as they go underneath the flags. Last couple of strokes, hit the pads. It's Wu in first place at the 50-metre mark, 32.77 his turn time. Into the breaststroke. Callum Wu still has the advantage. Pretty close, a number of swimmers here as they come underneath the flags. Wu just in the lead still, is he? I think it's pretty tight here. It's between 4 and 6 then. Chen in 4, Tyak in lane 6. And it looks like lane 4, which is the Watford swimmer, Jacob Chen. Underneath the flags, he's got a slight advantage, just a handful or so, literally. Takes the win, 1:12.00. A little bit further when they finished at the end there, 1:12.18, second place swimmer, which was, or who was, Joshua Tyak, and third place went to Zach Bale. On a 1:13.22. Heat 11, referee. (1:11s) out to 1:12s. Not much splitting the field by entry time. Slight advantage to lane 4 then. Luke Bernard of Costa into the backstroke. Blue-hatted swimmer of Costa still in the lead, half a body length advantage at the moment as they come underneath the flags towards the end of the backstroke. The Costa swimmer ahead of the Watford swimmer, 4 ahead of 5, 30.84 against the 31.30. That's Bernard ahead of Rogers into the breaststroke. The Costa swimmer still has the advantage, but Watford's William Rogers looks like he's got a slightly faster breaststroke, but maybe not. As they come into the turn, it's still the Costa swimmer in the lead. Rogers ahead of, no, it's the other way around, isn't it? It's Bernard ahead of Rogers into that final half length of front crawl now. Close races. Bernard still has the advantage. Rogers just drifting back a bit. Bernard's going to take the win. The last couple of strokes, 1:07.28. Rogers comes second on a 1:08.00. It's tight for the next positions, but it goes to lane 2, which is, let's have a quick look. It is Chet Kun Lau of Costa. His time, 1:12.21. A disqualification, event 202, heat 10, lane 8, disqualified for a technical infraction. Heat 12, referee. Heat 12 underway even. We've broken the 1:10 mark, 1:09.47. Danny Foreman, lane 4, the fastest entrant. Lane 3 pushes off the pads first after the butterfly, but there was little to choose between them as they come back. Half a length of backstroke to go. There's still next to nothing to choose between them. Marginal advantage to lane 6, Hatfield's Rufus Kelly. He turns, no, it's lane 3 who turns first, 31.98, which is Kabir Patel of Potter's Bar. So he did well on the backstroke there, the last half length or so. He still has a slight advantage. Lane 5, no, I think it's lane 6, actually, it's hard to tell from the angle. But lane 6, Kelly just touches marginally ahead of Jones in 5. Hatfield swimmer ahead of the Tring swimmer. Kelly, Jones in lane 5. Oh, it's very tight here. Jones versus Kelly. It just goes to Jones. Looked a lot closer at the touch there than it did according to the scoreboard. Jones takes the win though, 109.60. Second place, 109.80. A couple of tenths behind him, Kelly. Third place, Patel, 110.09. Heat 13, referee. So lane 3, early advantage. Lane 3 turns first. Toby Martin of Harpenden. Entered on a 107, but the fastest entrant was McDonald Williams in lane 4, 106.94. But it's still the lane 3 swimmer. In fact, the lane 4 swimmer is not really in the race at the moment. And a little drift in there for Martin, but nevertheless in the lead. Up from the underwater phase, white-hatted swimmer, Toby Martin of Harpenden. He's 17 years old and moving away from the rest of the field on the breaststroke. The other end of the pool, we need to look for second and third. Second place is Lloyd of Bishop Stortford. Williams, third of Hatfield. The Hatfield swimmer is moving up into the, or Watford swimmer rather. No, the Hatfield swimmer in lane 7, but taking the win quite convincingly. On a 103.90 was Toby Martin. Second place goes to Lloyd, 105.42. Williams in third, 106.29. Heat 14, referee. First of our 6 seeded heats then, where the last 24 swimmers are spread across the last 3 heats. Ashley Coombs of Bushy, the fastest entrant. He's pretty much to the first turn ahead of the rest of the field. He's entered on a 101.74. The time's correct to 106.66. Coombs still in the lead as he comes up towards the flags at the end of the backstroke. The closest swimmer to him, Daniel Hollis of Costa, lane 5, but the Bushy swimmer still has the advantage. In fact, it doesn't according to the scoreboard. It was Hayes, then it was Hollis, then Coombs into the breaststroke. Hollis of Costa just moving up into the lead. Good swim for Hollis here. Then it's Madison and then Coombs going against the seeding at the moment. Hollis swimming up. Last couple of strokes. Hollis takes a win, 103.04. Second place goes to Cub Madison, 103.49. And then third place, Ashley Coombs, 104.38. So the winning time, 103.04. See if that will be good enough to get into the final. Top 8 times, of course, going into the final. Heat 15, referee. Very nice start there for the Hatfield swimmer in lane 3, Liam Rumble. Nice off the block. Nice underwater phase. He's just drifting back a little bit as Lydiard, the fastest entrant, where 101.22 moves into the lead. So Lydiard in 3, Rumble in Lydiard in lane 4, Rumble in 3. But actually the Hatfield swimmer, what I'm saying all that, moves into the lead. But there's next to nothing choose between the first 3, just 0.3 of a second between them into the breaststroke. Jake Moore, lane 5, in the lead at the moment as they come up towards the final transition phase. Breaststroke into front crawl. Moore in the lead rather. Lydiard in second place. Rumble just drift. Well, he's still in third place, but it's a bit more of a distant third than it was earlier on. Moore swimming well there to finish. 102.05 the winning time. Lydiard second, 103.25. Rumble third, 103.89. So 102.05. The fastest time so far. Previous fastest was a 103.04, which 2 or 3 swimmers in this heat were faster than. So at the moment it's a 102.84 we're looking to beat to get into the final. Heat 16, a referee. Our final heat underway. Underwater phase, lane 4, very nice. Matthew Aldred, fastest entrant, 59.14, the only entrant under the minute mark. And he's in the lead. They're all underwater, it's hard to see anything. Oh, very nice underwater phase there for Aldred on the backstroke. Clearly a backstroke swimmer, as he's got a body length advantage. Oh, drifting a little bit there, I would say, but nevertheless a good advantage over the backstroke leg into the breaststroke. Aldred in the lead, beginning to be caught a little bit by Davison in lane 3, and on the other side of him we've got Hartley of Hatfield. Aldred and Hartley turning much at the same time into the final 15 metres, less than that. Also, I imagine these first 2 swimmers not at max effort, just getting into the final. Finishing on 102.17. It's not it's close. So the winning time there, who was it? It was Hartley on a 102.17. Aldred second, 102.89. Davison third, 103.07. The previous fastest time, I think, from my notes here, 102.84. So that was good enough to get into the final. Puts me about 4th, I think. Times have disappeared now. As indeed has that event. We move on to our 3rd event, which is female 200-metre backstroke, event 203, 8 lengths of backstroke. And we have 11 heats of that. So moving up towards the halfway point of this session. Event 203, Heat 1, our referee. So our first backstroke heat underway. 3:32 the slowest entry times. And as we progress through our 11 heats, we drop down to 2:21. So we're going to lose a minute 10 over the 8 lengths. So our swimmers in this first heat, 11, 12, 10 years old. The youngest swimmer, Layla Harley, 10-year-old, swimming for Watford in lane 6. The leader after the first 2 lengths, lane 5, Olivia Daniel, swimming for Verulam. 3:14 her entry time. So the swimmers at the moment is just spread out a little bit across the pool as they move to the 75-metre point. Olivia Daniel in the lead, lane 5. Olivia swimming for Verulam, 11 years old. Just comes up to the flags as she comes up towards the 100-metre mark. Turns underwater, kicks off the wall, up pretty early, not much of an underwater phase there, I would suggest. Second place is lane 4. That's Cordelia Helm, swimming for Rickmansworth. And then we've got lane 1, slightly obscured from me at the moment, but they're in third place at the 125-metre mark. Daniel still in the lead, looking pretty safe at the moment. Underneath the flags at the start end, just over 2 lengths to go. Again turns, kicks off the wall, much the same underwater phase as I was on the previous turn there. Second place is Helm, and third place is Harley, Layla Harley. So a little bit of spread across the field, 2/3 of a length from beginning to end. Olivia Daniel coming up towards the end now. Half a length to go. Led pretty much from the outset. 3:14 her entry time. Going to be quite considerably underneath that. Last couple of strokes, hits the pads. 3:02.35, so 12 seconds or so underneath her entry time. Helm is second. I think she was second. It hasn't come up on the score, on the overlay there. But that's probably because of backup time. Anyway, we'll see. According to the scoreboard, LC Preston is second, 3:09.78. But we haven't got a time for Helm yet. Cordelia Helm in lane 4. So we'll just wait to see where that slots in off the backup time. It looked to me like she was second, but doesn't really matter what I think. So we're just waiting for the backup times for a couple of lanes, and we'll don't think those are going to come up on the scoreboard, but they will feature into the results. Heat 2, referee. Next heat underway. Just over the 3-minute entry mark for Darcy Randall in lane 4, 3:00:18. So most of our times today have been faster than entry. So perhaps she'll break the 3-minute mark. We will see. It's close though, 6, 5 and 4, pretty much in a line. Pavana in 6, Bradley Smith in 5, Randall in lane 4. Little to choose between them. It's just who kicks off the pad. It really doesn't matter after the 50-metre mark. But it was Pavana, 41.18. Those three still pretty much in a line as they move down towards the 75-metre mark. Underneath the flags, moving up towards 3 lengths gone, 5 lengths to go. Lane 5 now clearly in the lead. Bradley Smith of Hoddesdon with the red hat. And she's just beginning to open up a slight advantage from the rest of the field, but by slight we're talking 30 centimetres, 50 centimetres maybe. The closest swimmer to her. Lane 4, which is Darcy Randall. Bradley Smith in the lead. Darcy Randall in second place. And then it's Pavana in third. 100 metres done. Just under that to go now then. Coming towards the turn end one more time. Bradley Smith still in the lead. Pavana in second place and Randall in third. Half a body length advantage for Bradley Smith. So the field beginning to split a little bit, but the front two positions, or the first 2 positions, not much in them. Pavana beginning to move up on Bradley Smith as they come up towards the 150-metre mark. They both turn at much the same time. Slight difference as they pushed off the wall. Just a couple of hundredths. Bradley Smith in the lead, Randall in second place, but off the wall, it's a Randall moving into the lead. Darcy Randall of Watford just extending her advantage now. Half a body or so in front of Bradley Smith. Randall turns, then Bradley Smith, and then in third place Pavana. Final half length to go. Randall moving away from the rest of the field. Clearwater massively faster over this final length. Hits the pad nicely, 2:54.99 to take the win. Darcy Randall. Second place goes to Pavana, 2:57.16. And a second and a bit behind her, Bradley Smith in third, 2:58.31. Heat 3, referee. Nice start for lane 5. Is Thea Robertson of Costa. Thea Robertson, sorry, of Costa. And moving up into the 4, it's at the small number lanes. Peggy Edwards, Tara Shah, lanes 1 and 2. So it's splitting around a little bit at the moment. Now moving up towards the lead in lane 7, Chiosoni of Costa also. So across the 2 ends of the pool, lane 7, slight advantage against lane 2. Sonny ahead of Shah. 50 metres done. 150 to go. Sonny still in the lead. Very close between her and Shah. As they move up towards the halfway point, or they will be there in a moment or two. Tara Shah for Bushy in lane 2. Giasoni of Costa in lane 7. Shah in the lead, Sonny in the lead, Shah in second place. But I think Shah's just beginning to move up into the lead now. As they move away from the start, you can see all the swimmers in that end shot. We switch back to the mid shot, and now you can see the turn. And you can see lane 7 turning first. Giasoni and Tara Shah turning second. Giasoni still in the lead. Very little to choose between her and Shah. Sonny turns onto front. Shah marginally behind. 2:04.61 against a 2:05.14, half a second. And they move back down towards the far end of the pool. It's lane 4 in third place rather. Sophie Herity of Stevenage. Sonny then opened up an advantage. A few tenths now. Shah in second place. Herity in third, but not far behind her. Emily Mailer. Back at the front, coming up towards the finish now. Giasoni of Costa, 2:55. Her entry time significantly underneath that as she finishes on a 2:45.99. Tara Shah second, 2:47.44. Sophie Herity third, 2:48.56. Heat 4, referee. Fourth heat underway. Just breaking the 2:50 mark on the entry time. So the last one was a 3:45. So we were significantly underneath that. Sorry, it was a 2:45. 3:45 would have been a little bit slow. So we were significantly under the 2:50 mark on the last race. This race, as so many of them are, pretty close. Slight advantage to lane 6. Lane 6 is Amelia Cloak of Harpenden. Lane 1, not far behind, but lane 6 turns first, 38.52. Amelia. Coming up towards the 75-meter mark. Amelia Cloak just hanging on to that lead. It's between her and lane 6. Amelia Cloak in lane 6, close to her, Jasmine Scott of Costa in lane 1. So lane 1 not too far behind. Up towards the turn, it's all changing around a bit. Still lane 6 in the lead, 1:21.43. Second place though is now Grace Sophocleus Ames, swimming for Cheshunt. So it's chopping and changing a little bit. That was the 100-metre mark, halfway through. At the turn end, one more time. Now lane 3's in the lead. McDonald Williams, Bishop Stortford, wearing the green hat. Hard to keep up with this one. Sophocles Ames, swing for Cheshunt, also with a green hat, back into the lead as they come up towards the turn. Sophocles Ames in the lead, Jasmine Scott in second place, McDonald Williams in third. So we've lost our lane 1 swimmer, but back at the front it's lanes 4 and 3, the 2 green-hatted swimmers. They have split up a bit, make it a bit easier for me, if nothing else, to see who's where. Sophocles Ames in the lead, McDonald Williams in second place. The Cheshunt swimmer coming up last couple of strokes. She takes the win, 2:45.05. So apologies, I've had the wrong swimmers as I've been reading it out. I had the right lanes, but the wrong swimmers. So the win there goes to Randall, 2:45.05. Second place goes to Hooper, 2:48.85, and Clinch third, 2:49.25. Heat 5, referee. Heat 5 underway. Pretty tight across the pool, not much to choose between them at the moment as they go down towards the first turn. Slight advantage to lane 2. Ava Taroni O'Hara swimming for Potter's Bar. Taroni O'Hara holding on to that advantage at the 50-metre mark, 36.73, turning first. Then it's Sophocles Ames in second, Clingham in third. Moving down towards the 75-metre mark. Taroni O'Hara still in the lead, little way ahead of the rest of the field. The closest swimmer to her is now the Cheshunt swimmer in lane 4, Grace Sophocles Ames. And Grace getting a little bit closer towards Ava Taroni O'Hara. As they hit the 100-metre mark, it's Taroni O'Hara in first place, Sophocles Ames in second place, and McDonald Williams in third. Into the second half of the race. Tyrone O'Hara still has the advantage, but it's been closed down by Sophocles Ames as they come into the turn. 3 lengths to go. Tyrone O'Hara still in the lead. Sophocles Ames in second place. And in between the two of them, the Bishop Stortford swimmer, McDonald Williams, in third place. Tyrone O'Hara coming up to the start end for the turn. Last turn at the start end, just under 50 metres to go now. She has the advantage, but being closed down by Sophocles Ames and McDonald Williams of Bishop Stortford in between them. Coming up towards the final turn, the Potter's Bar swimmer, Tyrone O'Hara, still has the advantage, pretty close. McDonald Williams in second place, Tyrone O'Hara in first, Sophocles Ames in third. They've got half a length to go. The Potter's Bar swimmer in lane 2 still has the advantage. Tyrone O'Hara entered 2:48.65, just going to hang on to this lead. Last stroke hits the pad, 2:42.91. Long way under her entry time. McDonald Williams in third place and Sophocles Ames in third. The winning of the time for her, 2:44.28. A disqualification, event 203, heat 4, lane 1. Disqualified for a technical infraction. Heat 6, referee. Sixth heat underway. Swimmers halfway down the first length. Not much to choose between them as always. Slight advantage to Pereira of Hatfield in lane 6. Moving up into lead though in lane 4, Molly Greatbatch, Bishop Stortford. Greatbatch has the advantage at the 50-metre mark, turns 36.14. Second place, Ashwell, 36.88, and then Robu third on a 37.91. So lanes 4, 3, 2. First 3 positions. 75-metre mark. Greatbatch, Molly Greatbatch, swimming for Bishop Stortford, still has the advantage. Greatbatch in the lead. Second place, Florence Ashwell. She's swimming for Tring. Black Hat, putting Greatbatch under a little bit of pressure as they get to the 100-metre mark. 4 lengths done, 4 lengths to go. Ashwell, nice underwater phase. She looks like she's beginning to get closer to Greatbatch as they're both moving down towards the 125-metre mark. Molly Greatbatch in the lead. Florence Ashwell in second place. Greatbatch turns, Ashwell turns next. And then our early leader, lane 5. No, it wasn't an early leader, was it? It was somebody else. Lois Field in third place. Coming up towards the 150-metre mark, Greatbatch appears to have seen off the threat from Ashwell. Molly Greatbatch turns, 157.95. Florence Ashwell turns next, 2:00.02, and then our 2:01.88 in third place, Lois Fields. underneath the flags at the far end. Turning for the last time. Great batch turns, kicks off the wall. Ashwell does so. And now it's fields 1, 2 and 3 as they've got less than a length to go to complete the 200 metres of their backstroke. Great batch, 2:44.06. She's now got a length and a bit, or body length and a bit advantage. She finished 2:37.45. Florence Ashwell next, 2:39.42. It's a little closer for third, fourth and fifth, but taking third was Fields. Then it was Evie Mooson in fourth, and the other end of the pool, the closest to us, Maya Robu in fifth on a 2:46.28. So, a disqualification event 2:03. Heat 5, lane 1, disqualified for a technical infraction. Our next heat will be heat 7. 7 swimmers in this heat, someone withdrawn. Fastest entrant, April Mills, 2:40.71 in lane 4. Heat 7, referee. Just relax, swimmers, please. Just relax. Off we go then for heat 7. April Mills, the fastest entrant, lane 4. And as we move down towards the first turn, Mills pretty much in the lead, just a tenth or so ahead of lane 1. Charlotte Stewart of Costa. Mills swimming for Havfield with the purpley pinky hat in lane 4, and she's moving away from the rest of the field. Good advantage over 50 metres, almost a body length clear, not quite. It's a Tring swimmer in lane 7 in second place, Katrina Dalton. And then in third place, it's Sophia Bradley, also swimming for Tring in lane 1. Sorry, it's Charlotte Stewart for Costa in lane 1. April Mills still has the advantage as she turns in lane 4, moving away from the rest of the field. Very close for second place. Dalton in 7, there or thereabouts. That's a Kate, likewise, and then the other end of the pool, Charlotte Stewart. But it's Stewart in second place and Lazarkate in third. April Mills in the lead, turning 1:15.70 at the 100-metre mark. So Going to be a little bit, or quite a bit, under her entry time. April Mills in the lead. Angelica Lazzacate of Watford in lane 6. Moving up into second place, getting a little bit closer to April Mills. It's a slight overlap of the bodies, but not particularly close. Mills turns 1:56.94. Lazzacate second, 1:58.64. And then Stewart 2:00.47. So a little bit between them. So coming up to the end here, April Mills still has the advantage. Just about a body length clear, takes first place, 2:37.74. Angelica Lazzacate second, 2:39.44. And Charlotte Stewart in third, 2:41.67. Heat 8, a referee. Heat 8 underway. Times now 2:37 entry time. Not that it matters too much. Lane 5 turning first at the 25-metre mark. Whilst they come back towards the start end, we have a disqualification. Event 203, Heat 7, Lane 1. Disqualified for a technical infraction. At the 50-metre mark, it is lane 5 turning first. That's Celia Randall, swimming for Watford. No, it's not. It's Isla Black, swimming for Costa. So Isla Black in the lead, coming down towards the 75-metre mark. Black turns just behind her in lane 8, Erin Cave for Tring. So it's Costa with a blue hat, Tring with the black hat. Those are the two leaders. Not too much to choose between them as they turned at the 75-metre mark. Coming up towards the 100-metre mark, we can see what the time differential is between those two swimmers. They're still placed 1 and 2. The Tring swimmer just turns first, 1:16.32 for Cave against Black's 1:16.40, so 8 100s between them. The rest of the field just beginning to compress up on them. Lanes 4, 3, 2 and 1, not too far behind and still in the race, I would say. Certainly lane 2, which is Freya Hadnett of Bishop Stortford. Coming back down once again towards the start end. It's 150 metres done, or will be in a moment. Erin Cave in the lead. Good lead for her. Lane 2, I thought would turn second, but it was a little bit, well, she turned third according to the scoreboard, with Celia Randall in second. So, all changing around a little bit. Randall looking to be doing something quite well here as they come up towards the final turn at the turn end. Cave turns first, Randall second, and third is Hadnett. Last few strokes, oh, that's a bit unfair, last few metres. As they all come up towards the flags, Erin Cave has the advantage. Randall finishing fast. It's going to be tight between them. Cave just takes it. 2:39.91. Randall in second place, 2:37.14. And in third place, it was Freya Hadnett, 2:37.82. 80. So just to let you know, the finals will follow after these heats. And the final order is slightly different to as advertised. The finals will go in the order female 100 fly, male open 100 IM, female 200 breast, male open 100 backstroke. So the two male finals are in the opposite order to as stated in the program. Just be aware of that, please. Heat 9, referee. Heat 9 then underway. Early lead, lane 5, Camille Vanier of Hatfield. But there's not too much choose between her and Sophie Green, also of Hatfield. So Green has a slight advantage as they come up towards the turn at the 50-metre mark. Green turns first, 34.52. Vanier second, Green 34.15. Vanier 34.52. And our 34.76 in third place at that turn was Dalton. Sophie Green extending her lead now. The two Hatfield swimmers just beginning to move away from the rest of the field. The closest one to them is Dalton in 2. Sophie Green looking very smooth and controlled as she comes up towards the 100-metre mark. Flips, kicks off the wall, fly kicks up to the surface, starts the surface swimming about the 6-7 metre mark. Beside her, Camille Vanier in second place, the other Hatfield swimmer in lane 5, and it's Dalton in lane 2 in third place. Dalton swimming for Tring with the black hat. Meanwhile, Sophie Green and Vanier moving away from the rest of the field. Green has the advantage. Vanier beginning to catch her. It's certainly closer as they come up towards the start end at the 150-metre mark than it was at the 100-metre mark. Green flips. Vanier not far behind her, but it's now just half a metre or so versus the 2 metres or so it was on the last time they went down that bit of the pool. Green in the lead. Vanier in second place. Dalton still in third, but being caught by a couple of other swimmers. Into the final turn. This time Vanier's in the lead. Dalton in Green in second place. And then it's lane 7. It's Williams, Talia Williams in third place. Last 75 metres been good for Camille Vanier. She finishes 2:26.46. Green in second place on a 2:30.57. And then it's tight for third, but it goes to Savage, having a good final 50 there, 2:32.98. So just to repeat what I said earlier, as we've got this short wait. The finals, the order of the finals, 100 fly, then the 100 IM, then the 200 breast, and then the 100 back. So slightly different order for the male open finals. Well, not slightly different order, completely opposite order to what was advertised. Heat 10, referee. Penultimate heat underway. And pretty much on the line as they approach the flags, 20 metres done. Lots to go. They turn, lane 5, slide advantage. Lane 5 is Erin Curry, swimming for Hatfield. Curry in the lead. The Watford swimmer, Amy Harper, not too far behind her in lane 4. Curry versus Harper for the first couple of positions. 33.32 against the 34.10 at the 50-metre mark. 150 to go. These last 3 heats, of which this is the penultimate heat, cyclically seeded. So Amy Harper, the second fastest swimmer by entry time. But it is Curry in the lead for Hatfield, moving away from Harper. Coming up towards the 100-metre mark as they swing underneath the flags. Curry in the lead. Turns on a 109.53. Harper in second place, 110.19. Couple of seconds and a bit behind them in third place. Holly Enright for Watford. Front 2 swimmers just beginning to get a little bit closer to each other, Harper and Curry. Harper's had the advantage all the way through. Curry a little bit behind, but she is closing the gap to Harper. Harper now into the lead. Harper overhauls Curry as they come underneath the flags. 150 done, 50 to go. Harper turns, 147.73. Curry second, 147.80. And a 151.29 turning in third place, Holly Enright. Moving down towards the turn end for the last time for these swimmers. Harper has the advantage, she turns. Best part of 2 body lengths now. A body length perhaps would be more accurate as they sort themselves out from the transition phase. Harper in the lead, 2:23.88 her entry time. It's going to be there or thereabouts. She finished on a 2:23.16. Curry in second place, finishing on a 2:26.00. And then Holly Enright, 2:29.63. So just waiting for the referees to confirm the results of Heat 10, and that will leave us our final heat in this event. And then we'll move on to the men's, or the male, open 100-metre backstroke, which will be our last event of this session. Heat 11. Referee. Last heat of the backstroke underway. Lane 4, Charlotte Williams, Hatfield, 2:21.70, her entry time. About 5 seconds quicker than anybody else is in this heat. And she is in the lead. Moving back up towards the start end, Williamson. Body length clear already as she goes underneath the flags. Williams for Hatfield turns 32.44. Second place, Wojak Yardiok. And in third place at the 50-metre mark, Sophie Hollis. At the 100-metre mark, Williams still in the lead, turning 1:08.65. Second place, Wojak Yardiok. And it's a little bit closer for third place. Third place at the moment, Sophie Hollis. So stations as you were at the 100-metre, 125-metre mark. Moving back down towards the start end. Good lead for Williams. As I said, she's got a 5-second advantage on entry time. Looking to get into the final, and in a sense, that's all she needs. She turns 1:46.31. Second place, Wojak Yardiok for Verulam. A little closer for third. Lanes 6 and 5, Sophie Hollis and Summer Everson. So Charlotte Williams, big advantage here. Underneath the flags, entered on 2:21. Going to be a couple of seconds outside that, but sufficient to make the final. One would imagine 2:23.57. Rosa Yardiok next, 2:27.65, and the third place swimmer was Sophie Hollis, 2:28.81. A disqualification for you, event 203, heat 10, lane 3, disqualified for a technical infraction. So that completes event 203. We move on to event 204, our final event for this session. The male open, or the open male 100-metre backstroke. Event 204, heat 1, referee. Nice underwater phase for the Tring swimmer in lane 5, Charlie Robinson. So 4 lengths of backstroke for these swimmers. These swimmers entered on a 1:32, 1:33, 1:34. So 1.5 minutes, give or take, and then we'll drop down to sub a minute by the time we get to our 13th and final heat. Charlie Robinson still has that advantage. Second place at the moment, Maxwell Carter in lane 3. And between the two of them is Eric Bay of Costa. Charlie in the lead, 42.37. Charlie Robinson and Maxwell Carter in second place, 43.30 at the halfway point. 50 metres done, 50 to go. Charlie Robinson, long way in the lead. Maxwell Carter, the closest swimmer to him, as Robinson comes underneath the flags. Entered, what is entry time? Al Robinson, 1:33, finishes 1:27.64. Carter next, 1:30.39. And Bay third, 1:33.13. And our final swimmer in this heat was Beard, 1:37.64. Heat 2, referee. Second heat underway. Long underwater phase there for a Tring swimmer. That's how they teach them at Tring, I guess, since it was the same in the previous heat. Samuel Allcraft in lane 2, and he turns first at the end of 25 metres. Allcraft in the lead. Can he hold on? He's clearly not the fastest entrant in this heat with an outside lane, but he's in the lead. Beside him in lane 1 is Veer Takia of Watford. Those two just, well, Takia just in second place. It's close. Oh, a little bit close to the wall there on the turn there for Allcraft, but he still maintains his advantage. Allcraft in the lead and Takia in second place. At the halfway point, it was Vanier in third. Going down towards the turn, up, getting close to 75 metres. Allcraft still in the lead. Takia not far behind him. Vanier in third place. Veer Takia moves into first place for Watford as they come underneath the flags. Allcraft fighting back. It's going to be on the finish there. Oh, Allcraft perhaps going to take one more stroke. Hard to tell. Just 2 100s between them. Takia takes a win, 1:27.05. Allcraft second, 1:27.07. Third, Julien Vanier, 1:28.26. Heat 3, referee. The outside lanes have the advantage at the moment as they've done just over half a length. Sims in 1, Kaposi in lane 8. But as they go into the turn, it's Kaposi in the lead. Just behind him in lane 4, Jake Nell swimming for Tring. So Tring having some good swims in these first 3 heats. Kaposi with a blue hat for Hemel Hempstead has the advantage. No, it's Kaposi of Tring with a black hat in lane 4 as they come up to the turn. Kaposi turns 39.97. Sorry, Nell turns, then Kaposi, and then third place at the halfway point, James Winter of Stevenage. Nell in the centre of the pool has the advantage for Tring. Lane 4 as they come down towards the final turn. He turns, kicks off the wall. Kaposi is in second place, pretty tight for third. Half a length to go. Nell just has the advantage. Kaposi moving up on him. Kaposi could take this one in the last 6 or 7 metres. They come under the flags. Nell looks to be okay. Kaposi drifting back to third in actual fact. Nell takes the win. 1:24.95. Hallam second. 5 100s behind. 1:25.00. And third place went to Kaposi. 1:25.18. Heat 4, referee. Fourth heat, lane 1. Closest to the camera then, in the lead. Being overhauled now by lane 2. Earl just lost lead to Bansagi. And it's Bansagi with the advantage as they come back up towards the start end. Bansagi in the lead. White hat swimming for... Sorry, my mistake. Earl in the lead, swimming for Ware with the white hat. Quite a little way ahead of the rest of the field. He turns 39.31. We have to wait for a second and a half for our second place swimmer, which is Beard of Verulam. Harry Earl still in the lead, turns, 1 length to go. The closest swimming to him is Edward Beard, in time at least. Earl then comes back up towards the start end, half a length to go. Quite a high head in the water polo style almost. Slightly flatter in the water in lane 5 is Beard, moving up towards first place, but Earl is going to take it. 1:22.67. Second place goes to Beard, 1:23.67. So second behind, and third place goes to Max Hart over at the far end of the pool, 1:25.32. A disqualification. Event 204, heat 3, lane 4. disqualified for a technical infraction. So we're about to start heat 5 of 13. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 heats to go. So if you're in the first final, I'm guessing that's going to be about 15 minutes away, maybe a little more. So start to be thinking about moving over to the marshal area. No undue rush, but I think it'll be about 15, 16, 17 minutes till we start the first set of finals. Heat 5, referee. Swimmers then just reaching the halfway point of the first length. Lane 4 looking good. Nice, strong, solid stroke as he goes into the turn, pushes off, he turns first. That's Oliver Waite of Hertford, swimming with the silvery hat. Not too far behind him is Samuel Bird of Bishop Stortford in lane 5. As Waite comes underneath the flags, turns at the halfway point, 38.37 for him. And then it's the swimmers on each side of him in second and third. Bird in second, Brewster in third. Oliver Waite still in the lead, but it's not a very big lead, quite a slender lead as he goes underneath the flags, coming up to the 75-metre mark into the turn. Waite turns, not far behind him is a Bird. Samuel Bird and Brewster. Likewise, over at the far end of the pool, we've got a fast finishing Hugo Harley of Watford. But Waite looking fairly, well, I say comfortable. He's going to win. It's half a body length or so's advantage as he comes up, finishes pretty much right on the stroke there. 1:19.67 for Waite. Second place goes to Harley. 1:20.19, finished well over at the far lane of the pool for Watford. And third place, Samuel Bird, 1:20.35. Heat 6, referee. Moving down towards the turn end. Once again, it's the outside lanes with the advantage. Lane 8 in particular has the lead. Joseph Bagshaw of Stevenage with the black hat. Bagshaw moving away from the rest of the field. Bit of a diagonal line now, back down to lane 1. Lane 1 started fast, but just drifting back towards 8th place as Bagshaw holds on to his advantage. He turns, Kicks off the wall, 36.59. The closest swimmer to him, turning in second place on a 37.01, is Chesson's Ryan Wimpenny. Wimpenny just moving up towards the lead now, as Bagshaw not quite able to hold on to his advantage. Into the turn, Wimpenny rather in the lead. Bagshaw in second place, and it's Ward in lane 5 in third. Wimpenny for Chesson has the advantage, dragging Ward along with him as Bagshaw just drifts back to third. Underneath the flags, few strokes left to go. Ryan Wimpenny takes the win, 1:15.62. Second place goes to Ward on a time of 1:15.89, and third place Bagshaw, 1:16.87. Heat 7, referee. Looking a little bit quicker then as they move down towards the end of the first length. Lanes 3 and 2 taking out the early lead. Even Slade of Tring in 2 and Henry Martin of Harpenden in lane 3. It's a Tring swimmer. Slade leading at the moment as they come up towards the halfway point. Slade just has the advantage, turns, kicks off the wall, 34.96. A little bit behind him, Henry Martin of Harpenden in lane 3, and then there's a bit of a gap back to our third place swimmer, Tony Gradwell in 4. Moving down towards the turn end, underneath the flags. Slade turns, then Martin. Third place Gradwell just. Half a length to go. Evan Slade has had the advantage. Now it's swapped to Henry Martin in the lead. Harpenden swimmer coming good in that last half length. And ducks down, hits the wall, 1:13.19. Second place, 1:14.22 for Even Slade. And third place, Gradwell, 1:15.81. Heat 8, our referee. Nice start. Underwater phase and transition to the surface for the Potters Bar swimmer, Finley Barber, in lane 2. He goes into the first turn just in the lead, marginally ahead of Charlie Stott of Costa. In 5, Barber just holding on to this lead, but he's been put under pressure by the swimmers in the centre of the pool as they come underneath the flag. Slight advantage to Barber. He turns, kicks off the wall, 35.06 for Barber. Second place is now Charlie Stott of Costa, and then third place James Hallam of Harpenden. Barber still holding on to this lead as he goes into the turn. He's lost it now. It's gone across to Stott in lane 5 for Costa. Half a length for Stott, just beginning to move away from the rest of the field. Barber still in second place, and Chen in third. Stott looking good, takes the win, 1:11.76. Chen Second, 1:12.95. And Max Lesnar in 7, swimming well on that final length. Coming in third on a 1:13.06. So we've got 4 heats to go as the light just starts to fade outside. The reflections on the pool a little bit stronger than they were a few hours ago. Scoreboard reflected in the windows at the deep end. Our next heat will be heat 9. We're into the 1:10s for the entry times. 1:10.06, the fastest entrant, Edward Lana, out to 1:12.54, Thomas Johnson in lane 8. Then we get into our final 3 heats where, we've got another 4 to go. So a little way till we get to our cyclically seeded heats and get into the super fast swimmers. Heat 9, referee. So off we go, our fastest entrant, Edward Lana. Not here. So just the 7 swimmers in this heat. Still frantic though, not much to choose between them. Mordenti, lane 6, has a slight advantage. He turns marginally ahead of Callum Wu of Verulam in lane 7. Those 2 in the lead, first and second. Close for third. Mordenti turns 33.03 in first place at the 50-metre mark, halfway through. Mordenti maintaining his advantage, turns half a body length or so ahead of the closest competitor, which is Lau in lane 3. Back down towards the finish then. Alexander Mordenti underneath the flags, entered 1:10.17, couple of strokes to go, finishes 1:09.15. Second place goes to Konstantin Kalifas, 1:10.12. Sorry, he was in third place. Second place goes to Chuk Kin Lau, 1:09.54. Heat 10, referee. Heat 10 swimmers just coming up to the first turn. It's Ben Hunwick of Tring in lane 6 in the lead, but Matthew Costello of Stevenage with a yellow hat moving up into first place. Costello turns first on 32.64. Second place is now lane 3, which is Askin Toe. Costello versus Toe. Costello turns, kicks off the wall. A little advantage over the rest of the field. Toe in second place still. Costello, a body length clear. He comes underneath the flags. Entered on a 108.49. Finishes 106.92. Looks very happy with that. And looks up to the Stevenage team to get their adulation. Second place, Atkin Toe, 108.54. And third place was Luca Batoza Padin. Heat 11, referee. Moving up towards the halfway point then of our Heat 11. Baskerville of Hatfield with the purple hat turning 29.30, the first swimmer to turn under the 30 mark. So these have got a little bit fast. Of course, he's the third fastest entrant in this event. And he's got a good lead here. The closest swimmer to him is Zach Fellows of Costa in lane 5. As Baskerville turns, Fellows behind him. And then the rest of the swimmers turning a little bit behind again. Third place, a little way back behind them. Baskerville then coming up. The last couple of strokes touches the wall, 59.80 the winning time. Zach Fellows second, 101.47, and Toby Martin third, 105.85. Heat 12, referee. Penultimate heat underway. Calverboa of Costa, fastest entrant, 58.77, lane 4. He's just in the lead, but not a dominant lead like Baskerville had in the previous heat, but I guess there's another 3 lengths to go to see if he can establish that. Just in the lead, coming up to him, though, is Thornhill of Hoddesdon in lane 3. Those two out ahead of the rest of the field. It's pretty tight for third. Calverboa, though, turns on a 29.41, pretty much the same time as Baskerville turned in the previous heat. Calverboa in the lead. Thornhill in second place. Hatfield's Jeffrey in third in lane 5. Calverboa then started to extend his lead. Thornhill in second place. Calverboa comes underneath the flags. Last few strokes. He takes the win, 59.98. Second place goes to Thornhill, 102.70. Jeffrey third, 103.39. So the top two swimmers in the previous heat slot in so far as second and third overall. Heat 13, referee. Last heat then of this session. Aldred, lane 4, the fastest entrant, already establishing his advantage. Needs to get around the 59 mark to get into the final. I'm sure he's going to manage that, or yeah, he'll manage that. Nice underwater transition phase for Aldred. I seem to remember he was doing that on the IM earlier on, or maybe it was a 200-meter backstroke. Can't remember. At the halfway point, 29.32, Aldred in the lead. Second place is Jacob Hayes. Third place, Rafferty May. And they're not too far behind them in lane 2 is Hugo Rubitschek Smith. As Aldred turns, he's not that far ahead of the rest of the field, but he's far enough. Another good underwater transition phase for him coming up somewhere around the 12-meter mark, I would think. As he comes underneath the flags, just eases back a little bit now. Last couple of strokes, 101.36 for him. Finishing in second place was Jacob Hayes, and third, Rafferty May. So we're going to go straight into the finals. First set of finals will be the 100 fly for the females. The way this is going to work is referee will blow the 4 whistles. Then I'll announce each swimmer as they walk across the pool from the area at the just behind lane 8 at the start end of the pool. And then when all the swimmers are in position, we will start the race. So that's how it's going to work. The first final is a 10 and 11 years old, just 3 swimmers in that, so don't get DQ'd and you're going to get yourself a medal. Then we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and then I think we've got a full complement of finals. So your swimmers for event 205, the 10 and 11 years finalists. In lane 3 is Freya Keeling. In lane 2 from Verulam, Martha Mellows. And in lane 5 from Costa, Sakura Ramada Orr. Referee. Final underway then, 11-year-olds, they're all 11. And slight advantage to the centre lane, Mellors of Verulam. All entered on their qualifying times are 1:39, very close between them. Mellors comes up to the first turn, she turns first. Mellors, then Keeling, then Yamada Orr. Coming up towards the halfway point, it's pretty close between these three swimmers. Like I say, their entry times, qualifying times rather, 39:22 out to 39:89. Slight advantage now then to Yamada Orr, 44:55. The other two not too far behind her, but she has a slight lead. Yamada Orr, Costa swimmer, lane 5, blue hat. Mellors next, and then Keeling, just beginning to split, so it looks like this might be the way to the end of the race. Yamada Orr turns first. Mellors and Keeling, not too much between those, but Mellors coming off the wall a little bit better than Keeling, holding on to that advantage. Keeling coming back, Mellors coming back on Yamada Orr. Yamada Orr looking good though. Underneath the flags. Few more strokes to go, it's close. Yamada Orr is going to take this though, final stroke. Finishes, takes a win, 1:37.26. Second place goes to Keeling and then Mellors. Although I think may have been the other way around. We'll see. Your 12-year-old finalists in lane 1 for Rickmansworth, Cara Michael. In lane 2 for Costa, Amber Smith. Lane 3 for Costa, Charlotte Douglas. Lane 4 for Costa, Charlotte Stewart. Lane 5 for Hatfield, Neve Ives. Lane 6 for Ware, Sophie Tom. And lane 7 for Costa, Sophia Sakato. Referee. Off we go then. Charlotte Stewart, lane 4, significantly faster in the qualifying round than the rest of the swimmers. And she just has the advantage at the moment as they go underneath the flags up towards the first turn. Stewart in the lead. Moving back towards the turn end. Stewart being pushed by Douglas in lane 3. Both swimming for Costa, both called Charlotte, but Stewart has the advantage. Douglas in second place at the halfway point. Hatfield Ives in third. Stewart has the advantage. Douglas in second place. Ives third. Stewart looking fairly secure here as she turns for the final time. closer between Douglas and Ives. Ives just beginning to catch Douglas up. So they've got a battle to do as Stuart looks very comfortable indeed as she comes up towards the flags. Underneath the flags. Last couple of strokes. Takes the win, 1:14.06. Ives overhauled Douglas rather. And Ives in second place. 1:19.95. Douglas in third, 1:20.20. Our last few swimmers coming in. So fourth place, Tom. Fifth place, Amber Smith. Sixth went to Michael. And seventh, Sophia Sokoto rather. The 13-year-old finalists in lane one for Royston, Megan Randall. Lane two for Hitchin, Neve Holland. Lane three for Hertford, Bronwyn Fuller. Lane five for Costa, Jasmine Scott. Lane five for Costa, Anna Zapitskaya. Lane six for Bishop Stortford, Lewis Fields. Lane seven for Harpenden, Annabelle Clark. And in lane eight for for Hertford is Phoebe Hickford. Referee. "13 years underway then. It's a close race at the moment, not to choose between the two Costa swimmers. Zapitsetskaya and Scott, lanes 5 and 4. Slight advantage to Zapitsetskaya in lane 5. No, sorry, the other way around. It's Scott in 4 has the advantage. She's beginning to pull away from the rest of the field. Zapitsetskaya in second place, and they're very tight for third. Little to choose between them as they come up to the turn at the 50-metre mark. Jasmine Scott in the lead, lane 4, 33.82 at the halfway point. Zapitsetskaya just beginning to be put under a little bit of pressure by Neve Holland of Hitchin. A yellow hat in lane 2 as Jasmine Scott looking pretty good in lane 4. She turns, she's got 4 or 5 metres advantage over the rest of the field. Zapitsetskaya next, and then Neve Holland in third place. They've got just under half a length to go, most of them now. Jasmine Scott looking very powerful, entered on a 1:12.14, going to smash that. Last couple of strokes, finished on a 1:11.88. Zapitsetskaya next for Costa, 1:17.44. Neve Holland third for Hitchin, 1:19.82. The 14-year-old finalists in lane 1 for Ware, Macy Sill. Lane 2 for Potters Bar, Valentina Tinarello. Lane 3 for Hatfield, Cassandra Pereira. Lane 4 for Costa, Verity Fuge. Lane 5 for Watford, Ruby May Seaborough. Lane 6 for Costa, Tabitha Bayliss. Lane 7 for Hoddesdon, Liliana Sapala. And in lane 8 for Hoddesdon, Sophia Dixon. Referee. "14-year-olds underway, pretty much in a line, little to choose between them as they come up towards the flags. Coming up towards the first turn, slight advantage to lane 4, but not a huge one. That's Verity Fuge of Costa. She is entered the best part of 4 seconds faster than anybody else. And she's beginning to move away from the field. Fuge in the lead. Second place is Seaborough, then Pereira, lanes 5 and 3 respectively. A little bit of hanging around there on the wall for Fuge, I felt. And she's been caught up slightly, but she's still in the lead. Body length advantage over everybody else. Second place is Seaborough, and then Pereira in third as Fuge turns. Still has a body length advantage, so a far better turn at the 75-metre mark as she moves back down towards the finish. Half a length to go for her. A bit of a race for second, third and fourth. Fuge looking very solid for the first position here. She's got 2 or 3 strokes left to go. She finishes. Her winning time is 1:10.79. Little closer for the next positions. Pereira second, 1:13.72. 3 100s behind her. Ruby May Seaborough, 1:13.75 for third. So just to remind you, please do collect your medals if you've gotten one. Just both the championships and the junior medals will be available. Will be available on the medal table when the results are being confirmed. The 15-year-old finalists in lane 1 for Costa, Holly Malfroy. Lane 2 for Potters Bar, Isabella Savage. Lane 3 for Hatfield, Antonia Elias. Lane 4 for Hatfield, Eva Ives. Lane 5 for Hatfield, Hannah Beaverstock. Lane 6 for Hatfield, Amy Whitton. Lane 7 for Watford, Summer Emerson. And in lane 8 for Costa, Susanna Reed. The finalists then for the 15-year-olds, can I ask you all to be quiet at the start? Referee. Shh. 15-year-olds underway. Eva Ives, the fastest entrant. Lane 4, of course. And she just has the advantage, but it's not too much to choose them as they go down towards the first turn Ives has a slight advantage. Just behind her Isabella Savage, Potter's Bar, lane 2. Savage looking good in lane 2. Ives in lane 4 in the centre of the pool. Clutch of Hatfield swimmers vying for 3rd, 4th, 5th. Ives in the lead at the halfway point, 31.92. Savage just behind, 32.84. And then 32.99 in 3rd place at the halfway point. Antonia Elias. Eva Ives looking solid in lane 4. A little bit of a hesitation at the turn there, but comes off the wall and the underwater phase in the lead. Ives in the lead. The other Hatfield swimmers moving up into 2nd and 3rd. Beaverstock in 2nd, Elias in 3rd, as Ives has a few more strokes to do. And she finishes 108.24 to take the win. Beaverstock 2nd, 109.78. Elias 3rd, 110.52. The 16-year-old finalists in lane 1 for Stevenage, Charlotte Leon. For Costa in lane 2, Georgina Hamilton. For Stevenage in lane 3, Tia Gregory. For Berkhamsted in lane 4, Nell Costa. For Potter's Bar in lane 5, Chloe Alton. For Watford in lane 6, Angelica Lazicate. And in lane 7 for Hatfield, Summer Boswell. Referee. Sixteen-year-olds underway then. Lane 3 having an early advantage here. That's Tia Gregory of Stevenage. In the black hat in, like I say, lane 3. Comes down to the turn. She turns first, just ahead of the other swimmers. Not too much to choose between them. She comes off the wall well. Gregory in the lead. Nell Costa of Berkhamsted in lane 4. Just moving up into the lead as they come underneath the flags towards the halfway mark. Costa in the lead. Gregory in 2nd place. Not much to choose between them. Push off the wall, pretty much the same time. 32.21 against the 32.51. Looks closer than that in real life. Gregory Costa still has the advantage. Gregory in 2nd place. Up into 3rd is the Potter's Bar swimmer, who is Chloe Alton. Costa has the advantage. Gregory not far behind. It's still up for the win here as they come down that final half length. Costa just looking a little bit stronger as she comes up towards the flags. Gregory coming back well. It's pretty close here. Gregory catching her up. I think Costa's going to get this. She does. But it was close. Very close indeed. Costa takes the win. 110.62. Gregory 110.90. 3rd place Alton 111.67. The 17 and over finalists in lane 1 from Bishop Stortford, Lara Burgess. In lane 2 from Watford, Amy Borum. Lane 3 from Hatfield, Katie Jeffrey. Lane 4 from Hatfield, Charlotte Williams. Lane 5 for Bishop Stortford, Emma Fields. Lane 6 for Berkhamsted, Katie Hopper. Lane 7 from Bishop Stortford, Neve James. And in lane 8 for Watford, Holly Enright. Referee. Last set of finalists in this event underway then. And it's Charlotte Williams just in the lead, but not too much to choose between them. Williams turns first, 1:05.26, her qualifying time, not much ahead of the rest of the field. I think her entry time to the overall event was, if our memory serves me correctly. Williams, though, just in the lead, half a metre, maybe a metre, turns first, finishes nicely on the stroke there for the turn, 30.61. Best part of 8/10 ahead of Jeffrey. And then Borum. Charlotte Williams still in the lead. Down towards the turn end, being putting on pressure, under pressure by Borum in lane 2. Williams turns first, but there's little to choose between her, Field and, where's it gone? Yeah, Field and Jeffrey. And it's Emma Fields just moving up into lead, having a good last length or so. Fields takes the win for Bishop Stortford. Her time, 1:05.64. Williams second, 1:06.34. Katie Jeffrey third, 1:07.30. The finalists for the open male 100 metres individual medley. This is a 10 and 11-year-old category. In lane 1 for Hertford, Leo Sims. Lane 2 for Hertford, Isaac Wilshire. Lane 3 for Hemel, Luca Capozzi. Lane 4 for Harpenden, Charles Hallam. Lane 5 for Tring, Jake Now. Lane 6 for Berkhamsted, Jimmy Fordyce. Lane 7 for Hertford, George Sims. And in lane 8 for Watford, Mark Bansagi. Referee. Off we go then, the 100 IM finals. The first one underway. Into the butterfly. Lane 5 going off well. Tring swimmer, Jake Nell. Moving away from the rest of the field. He's looking fast. He's got a half a body length, perhaps fairer advantage. Into the backstroke, holding on to that advantage. Next to him, Charles Hallam of Harpenden. Lane 4. Those two just moving away from the rest of the field. Third place, Capozzi, Hemel Hempstead, lane 3 with a blue hat. As Nell comes up, hits the pads, flips backwards into breaststroke, as opposed to Hallam's choice of flipping sideways. Nell in the lead, 36.28 against Hallam's 37.15. Jake Nell still has the advantage. Hallam just closing up a little bit, but I don't think he's going to close up much. Time-wise, it's much the same as it has been. Nell turns. He's got a length to get home. Hallam's going to have to work hard if he wants to take this one. I don't think he's going to get it. Nell moves away from him, almost a body length clear as they come up towards the flags, rather. Nell just takes it. Very fast finishing, Hallam, but not fast enough. Nell wins 120.56. Hallam 120.83. Third place, Fordyce 124.73. Your 12-year-old finalists in lane 1 for Hatfield, Ching Yao. Lane 2 for Watford, Hugo Harley. In lane 3 for Costa, Hugo Yanagi. In lane 4 for Watford, Montgomery Brewster. Lane 5 for Costa, Charles Hodgson. Lane 6 for Berkhamsted, Rafe Lawson. Lane 7 for Watford, Max Perry. And in lane 8 for Bishop Stortford, Noah Conroy. Off we go then. Lots of support poolside for these young swimmers. 12-year-old category. Not too much variation on the time. It's lane 5 turning lane 6. Sorry, turning first. Rafe Lawson of Berkhamsted into the backstroke. Lawson still has the advantage. Hodgson and Brewster just beside him, not far behind. Hodgson moving up into the lead as they come up to the backstroke to breaststroke transition. Hodgson turns first, then Lawson into breaststroke. Watford swimmer then, Brewster, looking good here, lane 4. Also coming back well is the Watford swimmer in lane 2. Pretty close. Brewster, though, still has the advantage. As they come, no, that's wrong. It's Lawson, Rafe Lawson, then Brewster. Just over half a length to go. Brewster coming back on Lawson. Lawson has the advantage at the moment, but as we saw in the last race, it can change in the last few meters. Lawson looking under pressure from Brewster. Brewster takes the win. Last 7 or 8 meters, what did it? Brewster, 1:19.79. Lawson second, 1:20.22. Hodgson third, 1:21.61. The 13-year-old finalists in lane 1 for Costa, Alfie Ritchie. Lane 2 for Verulam, Edward Beard. Lane 3 for Costa, Chi Kai Cheng. Lane 4 for Watford, Constantine Califas. Lane 5 for Watford, Jacob Chen. Lane 6 for Hatfield, Perrin Ma. Lane 7 for Hertford, Rex Tramontano Wells. And in lane 8 for Alderstone, Ewan Roberts. Referee. Thirteen-year-olds underway, moving up towards the first turn. Going to form for once, lane 4, pretty much in the lead. Jacob Chen, Califas in 4, Chen in 5. Those two much the same time at the turn point. Swimming stroke for stroke as they move back up towards the turn end. Both Watford swimmers, slight advantage to Chen as they come up towards the pads. They kick off the pads into the breaststroke. 33.23 to Chen, Califas. 33.60, 3/10 behind, but it doesn't look anything like that in the water as Califas just begins to move up into the lead. Califas versus Chen. No one threatening them for the first couple of positions. Third at the moment is Chai Ki Cheng of Costa in lane 3 into the last length. Califas has the advantage. Chen in second place. Chen in second place and Cheng in third. It's that final sprint. Califas going to take this one. Wins reasonably comfortably in the end. 1:11.30. Chen second, 1:11.76, and Cheng in third, 1:15.95. So to let you know, the warm-up for the next session will be at 18:30, 6:30, an hour and 11 minutes away. The 14-year-old finalists in lane 1 for Bishop Stortford, Elliot Hall. Lane 2 for Watford, Gabriel Taggart. Or Gabriel. Lane 3 for Hatfield, Nicola Camalotti. Lane 4 for Watford, William Rogers. Lane 5 for Hatfield, Rufus Kelly. Lane 6 for Costa, Chetkin Lau. Lane 7 for Hitchin, Misha Zaranov. And in lane 8 for Harpington, James Hallam. Referee. "14-year-olds underway then. They all turn pretty much at the same time. Slight advantage out of the underwater face to lane 4, which is William Rogers of Watford with the red hat. In the backstroke then, Rogers in the lead. The two Hatfield swimmers flanking him in second and third. Kelly and Camalotti, second and third respectively. Rogers turns into the breaststroke. Nice underwater phase for Rogers, looking reasonably good on the breaststroke here. Camalotti, lane 3, beginning to catch him slightly. Kelly not too far behind, but the first two moving away. Rogers has the lead still. Looked like he was going to get caught by Kelly, but he hasn't. Rogers turns first. Then Camalotti, then Kelly. 1, 2, and 3, the Hatfield swimmers. Can they catch Rogers? Rogers looking okay. Fast finishing Kelly here. He might make it, but I think Rogers is going to take it. It's close, but he makes it. William Rogers takes the win, 1:07.57. Camalotti second, 1:08.32. Third place, Rufus Kelly, 1:09.13. The 15-year-old finalists in lane 1 for Costa, Ramsey Gill. In lane 2 for Watford, Max Walters. Lane 3 for Watford, Chun Ho Chan. In lane 4 for Hoddesdon, Maxwell Jose. In lane 5 for Bishop Stortford, Dylan Davenport. In lane 6 for Costa, Luke Bernard. Lane 7 for Potters Bar, Kabir Patel. And in lane 8 for Watford, William Harris. Referee. 15-year-olds underway, very close, lane 4, 5, 6, not much to choose between them. Marginal advantage to lane 6, they go into the first turn, which is Luke Bernard of Costa. Coming into the backstroke though, it's Maxwell Hosier in the lead. Well, it's close between Hosier and Davenport. It was Hosier just ahead of Chan. So pretty close, those first 3 swimmers. They move down towards the turn end. Little to choose between them. Hosier and Chan. Chan has a slight advantage, about a metre maybe now. So Chan comes back. Half a length and a bit to go. Let's start again. Chun Ho Chan looking good in lane 3. Moving away from Hosier. Chan takes the win. Chan wins then, 104.45. Hosier second, 104.96. Davenport third, 105.52. The 16-year-old finalists in lane 1 for Stevenage, Alexander Gregory. In lane 2 for Bishop Stortford, first name unknown, McDonald Williams. In lane 3 for Hatfield, Daniel Williams. Lane 4 for Watford, Rafferty May. Lane 5 for Hatfield, Oliver Baskerville. Lane 6 for Watford, James Gibson. And in lane 7 for Royston, William Barr. Referee. Sixteen-year-old underway. Good start for Rafferty May in lane 4. As he moves down towards the turn end, not far behind in Baskerville. They hit the wall pretty much at the same time, and Williams just a fraction behind them into the backstroke. May has the advantage. Baskerville in second, Williams in third. Baskerville just beginning to catch up Rafferty May. I think Baskerville's going to turn first. Baskerville drifts in a little bit, but nevertheless, he's 2 100ths ahead of May. And between them, about 7/10ths ahead of Williams into the breaststroke. Rafferty May back into the lead. Baskerville in second place. Williams in third. The 2 Hatfield swimmers flanking the Watford swimmer. Rafferty May for Watford in the lead. Coming out of that turn with a metre and a half advantage. Looking very solid now as he comes back down towards the end. Underneath the flags, just a few strokes to go. Rafferty May, dead solid on the last length and a half. Takes the win, 104.03. Second place at Baskerville, 105.30. And third place, McDonald Williams, 106.76. The 17-year-olds and over finalists are in lane 1 for Harpenden, Cub Maddiston. In lane 2 for Hatfield, Ben Davison. Lane 3 for Watford, Matthew Aldred. Lane 4 for Potters Bar, Jake Moore. Lane 5 for Hatfield, Lucas Hartley. Lane 6 for Costa, Daniel Hollis. Lane 7 for Ware, Thomas Lydiard. And in lane 8 for Harpington, Toby Martin. Referee. Off we go then, the last final for the fly. And lane 3 going out well here. Matthew Aldred turns out of the underwater phase. Aldred in the lead. Second place is at the other end of the pool, Lydiard. As Aldred comes up towards the backstroke into breaststroke transition. Traditional turn, whereas Lydiard does the backflip. Aldred in the lead. Looking good. Beginning to catch up for the leaders. Lane 4, Jake Moore, but Aldred having a good solid lead here. I mean, it's miles in the lead, given it's a final. Lydiard in second place, and third place pretty tight. Just in third place is lane 4, which is Hartley. Is Moore. Aldred takes the win. Absolutely convincing. 58-56. Second place goes to, where's it go to? It goes to Lydiard, 1:00:46. And third place goes to Moore, 1:01:52. Yes. Disqualification for you then before we move on to the next set of finals. Event 224, Heat 1, Lane 1. Disqualified for a technical infraction. So our next final, or sets of finals, is for the female 200-meter backstroke. Just bear with me, please. The championship final for the 200-meter backstroke. The finalists are as follows in lane 1 for Watford, Summer Everson. In lane 2 for Verulam, Wojciech Jardiak. In lane 3 for Hatfield, Erin Curry. Lane 4 for Watford, Amy Harper. Lane 5 for Hatfield, Charlotte Williams. Lane 6 for Hatfield, Camille Vanier. Lane 7 for Costa, Sophie Hollis. And in lane 8 for Hatfield, Sophie Green. Referee. So the championship final, 200 metres, so just one final, no age group finals. And it's Charlotte Williams in lane 5 going out in the lead. Clutch of swimmers, or 2 swimmers in the centre lanes, entered on 2:23 or qualified at 2:23. The rest of the swimmers a little bit behind that. Williams has the advantage then. Second place is is Harper in lane 4. Williams turns first, 50-metre mark, 33.30. Harper in second place, Vanier in third. So a little pretty close in the centre of the pool there. Harper in the lead for Watford. Williams in second place for Hatfield. So Williams in the lead, Harper in second place, back to front. Williams for Hatfield, Harper for Watford. Williams in the lead, Harper just getting closer and closer. They go into the turn. Williams turns first, 109.65. Harper a tenth and a bit behind, 109.79. Then in 111.85 in third place, Erin Curry. Moving down towards the turn end, coming up to 125-metre mark. Harper in the lead now, Williams in second place, Curry still in third. Some good battles for remaining places, but those are the top 3. Very good race here between Harper and Williams. Harper just slight advantage over Williams, about 50 centimetres or so. Time-wise, it's a 1:45.96 against a 1:46.65 at 0.7 of a second. Harper just beginning to move away now. Coming down to the final turn. Harper in the lead. Williams in second place. Curry in third. Those 3 looking pretty locked in for those positions. Harper comes off the wall. She's in the lead. Can Williams do anything about it down the last half length? I think it's unlikely. Harper comes underneath the flags. Clear blue water between her and everybody else. Amy Harper takes the win. 2:21.95. Charlotte Williams second, 2:23.61. And third place, Erin Curry, 2:25.16. So that completes the championship final. And we just have one more set of finals now, the 100-metre backstroke for the males. And just to remind you, the warm-up for the next session, 18:30, which is just under an hour away. We now go into the 100-metre backstroke finals. This is the 10 and 11-year-old category. And your finalists are in lane 1 for Hatfield, Julienne Vanier. Lane 2 for Watford, Ver Takir. Lane 3 for Verulam, Max Hart. Lane 4 for Harpington, Charles Hallam. Lane 6 for Hemel, Luca Capozzi. That was lane 5. Lane 6 for Watford, Mark Bansagi. Lane 7 for Hertford, Charlie Robinson. And in lane 8 for Hertford, George Sims. Referee. Swimmers underway. Little to choose between them. Slight advantage to lane 4. Charles Hallam, Harpenden. 4 lengths of backstroke though into the first turn. Hallam in the lead. Coming off that turn. Hallam has the advantage. Closest swimmer to him, Max Hart, Verulam. And then it's pretty much in a line for lanes 6 5, 6, 7, and 8 for the next positions. A good advantage for Hallam, though. He turns 39.14. He's a second and a half, pretty much, ahead of the rest of the field. Hart, the one who is closest to him. George Sims, lane 8, in third position. Hallam looking pretty secure here, moving down underneath the flags at the turn end. Into the final turn, turns, pushes off the walls. Underwater phase, up pretty early. Skims across the surface for a while, back into the swim. Hallam still has the lead. Second place, Hart, getting close for third. It's still Kaposi as Hallam comes underneath the flags. Last few strokes. Hallam takes a very nice win there, 120.58. Hart in second place, 123.82. Kaposi third, 125.32. The 12-year-old finalists in lane 1 for Stevenage, James Winter. In lane 2 for Watford, Max Perry. Lane 3 for Hatfield, Todd Lung. Lane 4 for Costa, Charles Hodgson. Lane 5 for Watford, Hugo Harley. Lane 6 for Watford, Montgomery Brewster. Lane 7 for Costa, Milo Mollery, or Molly rather. And in lane 8 for Hatfield, Fox Foster. Referee. Twelve-year-olds underway. Nice underwater phase for lane 3. Hatfield's Todd Lung. He's up in the lead positions at the moment. I think he's about second or third place. Slight advantage to Hodgson of Costa as they go into turn. Hodgson in the lead. But very nice underwater phase for Lung of Hatfield, bringing himself back into contention in lane 3. So Lung versus Hodgson. And then in third place at the moment is Harley in lane 5 for Watford. Into the turn at the halfway point. Hodgson turns first, 37.28. Another good underwater phase for Long, doing very nicely on the transitions. Moves himself up into the lead. Don't think he's going to hold it as Hodgson begins to overhaul him back down towards the turn end. Hodgson in the lead. Long's going to have a good underwater phase and then hold the pace throughout the last 18 metres or so. A bit further than that. So not such a good underwater phase there for Hodgson, for Lung rather. Hodgson in the lead, holding on to that lead. Lung coming back on him, but it's not going to be enough. Hodgson then, a few strokes left to go. Costa's swimmer going to take the win. 1:18.16. Lung second, 1:19.17. Harley third, 1:19.98. The 13-year-old finalists in lane 1 for Hoddesdon, Ewan Roberts. Lane 2 for Ware, Harry Earl. Lane 3 for Hatfield, Perrin Ma. Lane 4 for Watford, Constantine Califas. Califas. Lane 5 for Watford, Jacob Chen. Lane 6 for Costa, Alfie Ritchie. Lane 7 for Verulam, Edward Beard. And in lane 8 for Hatfield, Dally Holding. Referee. Off the 13-year-olds go then in their final. Early lead to Califas there for Watford. Qualified a couple of seconds ahead of the closest competitor. More than that over the rest of them. So Watford's Constantine Califas turns first. Out of the underwater phase, body length advantage over Jacob Chen. Second fastest qualifier in lane 3. But Califas moving away from the rest of the field. This is a dominant swim. Hard to see anybody coming close to him, since there's only 50 metres to go, and he's got a 33, well, he's got a 3-second advantage, 2.5-second advantage. Califas first, Chen second, Ma third. Califas looking very strong here. Entered on a 1:10. Is he going to beat that? I would think he might. Califas going back down towards start end. Chen in second place, Perrin Ma in third. Constantine Califas comes underneath the flags. Last couple of strokes. Beats his entry time by a wee bit, 1:09.40. Plenty of time until Jacob Chen comes in, 1:13.77. And then our third swimmer, Perrin Ma, 1:18.23. Fourteen-year-old finalists in lane 1 from Harpenden, James Hallam. In lane 2 from Hatfield, Thomas Johnson. Lane 3 from Hatfield, Rufus Kelly. Lane 4 from Watford, William Rogers. Lane 5 from Costa, Chuk Kin Lau. Lane 6 for Hatfield, Nicolo Camalotti. Lane 7 for Tring, Evan Slade. And in lane 8 for Potters Bar, Matthew Lynch. Referee. Lane 4, just, excuse me, slight advantage, William Rogers. He did when I started saying that before I got a wee tickle there. He's still in the lead. No, yes, William Rogers in the lead for Watford in lane 4. Comes off the wall, extends that lead, half a body length against the closest swimmer to him, which is Costa's Chuk Kin Lau in lane 5. Rogers almost a body length clear now at the halfway point, turns the 285. He's a second and a 10th ahead of Kin Lau, and then Camalotti in third place in lane 6. Moving down towards the turn end, 75 metres, almost done. Rogers maintains his lead, turns perhaps a little bit close to the wall, but comes off the wall in the lead. But he's been put under a little bit of pressure now by Kin Lau and Camalotti in lanes 5 and 6. Rogers, though, looking safe. Good finish here for Kelly in 3, but Rogers looking strong. Takes a win, 108.21. Kelly did well there on the last length, moved up into second, 109.38. Chuk Kin Lau third, 109.45. Your 15-year-old finalists are in lane 1 from Tring, Ben Hunnick. Lane 2 for Potters Bar, Alexander Mordenti. Lane 3 from Bishop Stortford, Dylan Davenport. Lane 4 from Costa, Zach Fellows. Lane 5 from Harpenden, Parker Brewster. Lane 6 for Potters Bar, Kabir Patel. Lane 7 for Potters Bar, Luca Batosa Padin. And in lane 8 for Verulam, Callum Wu. Referee. Fifty-year-olds then, they're underway, and it's lane 4. Nice underwater phase. Lane 4, Zach Fellows of Costa, blue hat. Centre of the pool, turns, looks pretty good to me. Underwater phase, what's it like? Good underwater phase, 3. Lots of fly kicks coming up at about 7 or 8 metres. He's in the lead, almost a body length clear of the rest of the field. Brewster in second, Davenport in third. Fellows turns, 29.52. First one to turn under the 30-metre. 30-second mark at the halfway point. Fellows in the lead, moving away from everybody else. Brewster in second place. Davenport in third. Good race for 4th through to 8. As Fellows turns. Now the others turns. Fellows coming up about 5.5 metres. But he's got a comfortable lead. And going to be a comfortable win. Entered on a 101.47. Going to be outside that, I think. Doesn't matter. He takes the win. 102.61. Second place went to Parker Brewster, 105.40. Dylan Davenport third, 106.52. Six-year-old finalists in lane 1 from Hoddesdon, Alfie Whitman. From Watford in lane 2, James Gibson. From Costa in lane 3, Hugo Robyshek Smith. In lane 4 from Hatfield, Oliver Baskerville. Lane 5 from Watford, Rafferty May. Lane 6 from Cheshunt, Alfie Bullock. And in lane 7 from Bishop Stortford, McDonald Williams. Referee. Six-year-olds then, up and running. Not too much to choose between them. Lane 7, perhaps the early advantage. McDonald Williams, see as they go into the turn. Into turn, McDonald Williams turning pretty much at the same time as Robyshek Smith in 3. And then coming back into the lead now, Baskerville, lane 4. In the centre of the pool for Hatfield with the purple hat. Baskerville looking good, moved away from the rest of the field, 30-30. Actually turns a little bit slower than we had in the previous heat. Previous heat, Zach Fellows turned on a 29 point. Nevertheless, Baskerville's in the lead. That's all that really matters when you're in the final here. Pulls away from the rest of the field. Long way ahead. Baskerville in the lead. May second. Rubishek Smith third. As Baskerville comes underneath the flags. Convincing win, 1:00.47. Second place goes to Rafferty May, 1:03.12. And Hugo Rubishek Smith third, 1:05.70. The 17 and over finalists in lane 1 from Watford, Jack Barnard. Lane 2 from Hatfield, Samuel Jeffrey. Lane 3 from Bishop Stortford, Jacob Hayes. Lane 4 from Costa, Alexander Calverboa. Lane 5 from Watford, Matthew Aldred. Lane 6 from Hoddesdon, Hayden Thornhill. Lane 7 from Bushy, William Presland. And in lane 8 from Harpenden, Toby Martin. Referee. Final underway then. Lane 5 in the lead. Matthew Aldred. Matthew Aldred then turns first. I think one of the swimmers was a little bit slow on their last 10 metres, and their entry time perhaps is not reflective of what they can do. And Matthew Aldred may be that swimmer, since he's a long way ahead of the rest of the field. The closest to him is Calverboa, who swam well. Only swimmer under the minute mark on the entry times. But after the first 50 metres, Aldred has a big advantage. Calverboa being put under pressure by Hayes here. That's where the race is. Aldred looks pretty secure in first place. He turns. He's got a second or so advantage over the rest of the field, or the closest to him. Aldred then coming back towards the start, half a length for him. Calverboa in second. Hayes drifted back into third, but a solid third. Aldred then takes the win, 58-53. Calverboa second, 1:00.50. Hayes third, 1:02.51. So that completes session 2 of the championships. Do remember, if you are due a medal, to go and collect it from the medal table over at the turn end of poolside. So do collect your medal if you're come first, second or third. Many thanks to all our officials and volunteers who have helped with this session. All the backroom staff, the coaches, and of course the swimmers. We will commence proceedings for session 3 at 18:30. So 18:30, we'll see you back here ready for the warm-up, just over half an hour. Until then, some music from After Dark.